Well, after years of phone calls, appointments, surveys, of getting good, solid, high speed internet here in the studio, I finally got it accomplished. Today they came out after all the wires are ran, all buried in the ground. The technician came out to check and be sure the signal is in the range where they like to have it on their modems. He came out, checked all the wires outside, be sure the grounds are good, done some testing, came inside, disconnected the modem, done some more testing, changed the ends on the wires that goes from the outside into the home here in the studio. Put it all back together and let it boot up. And he said, everything's all ready to go. I had ping going before he disconnected it, and after he connected back up, the lights came on and said it was online. The pings started to go again. I would say how excited or relief that I am of getting this done after all what I had to go through to get it to the point where it's at. Finally, they say, well, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Well, today I got to the other side of the tunnel and I'm out of the tunnel. It's all done. They changed the address of the account because I moved this account from another location. He called, got that taken care of. I logged into my account while he was here and saw that the address actually changed. The account number changed. Everything was going the direction. Finally, a relief of getting this done. A lot of headaches and a lot of frustration of taking rejections of saying, no, this can't be done. On the phone, they say, yes, we can get somebody out there and get this done. And over and over and over again, the technician comes out, says, no, it can't be done unless A, B, and C is done. Then I can do D, E, and F. Either way, I was SOL and didn't get internet. But I just got a hold of that one person that knew how to get around the system to get this accomplished. And I am very grateful of that person that I finally talked to on the phone. It was almost getting to the point where I almost wanted to give up because I just saw it repeat itself over and over, saying on the phone, yes. Technician, no. Same thing. Survey needs to be done. Survey don't need to be done. Survey's already been done. Another survey needs to be done. I almost threw my hands up. It was almost to the point where I wanted to move to a new location where I can get good internet. Because like I said in the video before this, I spent thousands on this system and the studio, and I don't want it to go to waste. And now I can sit here knowing that it is done. And I've been doing some speed tests on different sites, speedtest.net, fast.com, speakeasy.com or .net, and some other ones I never heard of, but it came up when I typed in speed test. I just scrolled down and I found some sites that I never even, knew that they had speed tests. Xfinity is one, and some other ones, but I got a a screenshot of the results. I got the 13 screenshots of different tests that I did. Some of them, like 2 on the same site, a few of them. But you'll see in the photos of the screenshots that it's very consistent on the speed. I'm supposed to be getting 300 megabits per second download and 10 megabits per second upload. And you will see the results of actually what I'm getting. And I'm not arguing about what I'm getting whatsoever. The strength and all that the technician said I had on the line, he said it cannot get much better than what it is. So that's telling me that, I'm going to get great speeds off of this connection. Very reliable, very consistent. So let me show you some screenshots of actually the speeds that I'm getting. And I'll be right back. All right, we finally got our connection. We no longer have Starlink sitting here. We've got our Spectrum backhaul connection. It came today, even though I already had it before they got here from the other account where I moved it from. They just came and checked the dB levels and stuff like that and be sure everything's grounded. But it's in, it's working. But now we still got CenturyLink over here, but we're going to get rid of that too. I've already reprogrammed the Edge Router X so it will feed internet for the clients here. And I've done some rewiring up here to get all this to work. And I tell you, Starlink is good, but their router, boy, it gives off some heat. Serious heat. But at least we got good internet now. And it's just a matter of setting up some APs or an AP and let people know about it, and we'd be ready to go. We got an AP up there now, but it's directional. We need an Omni up there or 2 directionals, one or the other. Just have to figure out which one we're going to do. Probably just change it out to a Omni, since we already got the wire there, and just run one wire up as it is now, and we just changed the radio on the end, and that's all we have to do. We don't have to run another wire. So we just changed the radio out, so we have to order that and get that up and running and get people faster speeds and get these people in this part with some good internet. Alright, this is the connection here, the wire they got here, the good old orange RG 11 up in the box. You got that good old ground wire. Got the feed wire going into the house. And now we're going to get rid of this account here after we get everything else finished. And we can actually open this box and get rid of this wire and don't have to worry about it sitting all up in here, because it runs down here and plugs into here. So we'll probably just take this wire out and actually seal that, even though that was here even before I was here. This wire's about had it, it's faded out, but I'll probably just take that out there and seal that, keep water from coming in there. We don't need it, it just runs right in the chase there like. But that is where we stand. We finally got it in here. It's been years to get it this far. Well worth it though. And since I did that, I've already told the Starlink account to shut down, and today is the last day of that's going to actually work. But I've already taken the modem and the power supply and everything out, so it's just there, and I'm gonna have to plug it back in and tell it to actually stow away, and then I can get up there when I put the Omni and take it down and put the Omni up at the same time instead of taking that tower down twice. It'd be a lot easier doing it once. But that's where we are at the time. And like I said, it's been years, but well worth it. As you can see, that it's very consistent of the speeds, basically 350 and plus. And I'm only paying for 300. That's what I'm supposed to be getting. So I'm not arguing whatsoever. And these speeds are not like in 1 hour span. It's different hours of the day. Matter of fact, there are different days at different times as well. Some in the morning, some right before lunch, some after lunch, and some at nighttime, 8, 9 o'clock, when a lot of people most likely will be on it, just to see if I can get it to show any slowdown any part of the day. And all these were taken, let's see, most of them were taken on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and then I did some during the week, just to see if I can see anything that slows it down. The weekend or during the week, lunchtime, dinner time, nothing. It don't matter what time I tried it, I got very consistent speeds, and I'm not arguing whatsoever with this, which that goes back to the technician says you should have good speeds, don't matter what time you need to use it. That's great. I didn't know it's going to be this consistent, but it was. As I said in some of my videos, if you want something bad enough, stick it out and just keep going after it. See it through thick and thin. Do everything you can. Every option you have, see it through to the end. If one don't work, figure out a different way and see it all the way through as well. Because if I gave up and never came across that one person that knew how to get this issue resolved and fixed and done, and that was only like 2 weeks ago. I quit before that and never got a hold of that person, I would still not have high-speed internet. But that one person got the ball rolling, and the supervisor, some male that the technician was talking to, he even said, this is after I talked to some lady on the phone. He says, you should see us out there sometime in the next 3 or 4 days and getting this line put in. Okay, well, I didn't get too excited because I've heard that before more than once. Lo and behold, I was sitting in here in the studio and I heard machinery and I thought it was the dump truck because it was Thursday and that's when the trash comes. But it didn't sound like it was getting any closer, like it was coming into the park. So I got up and stepped outside and I saw a pickup truck with a flatbed trailer on it. And I saw them actually putting the line in. So I walked down there and that's what they were doing. I kind of got a little excited then because I'm like, they're not going to put this line in and not finish it. And somebody dropped the ball again. Because after that was put in on, like, say, a Thursday or so, I was waiting for a phone call, email, or something. Never got it. Monday, I called and said, okay, when should I expect them to come finish the install since they got the main line put in? There was nothing scheduled for anybody to come out. I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm called. And she says, well, let me see what I can do to get this done. And she made a few things in the computer or whatever, and she didn't put me on hold. She just typed away. I heard her on the keyboard, and she told me when they should be out and everything, and they came out and they did it. He put his ladder up on the pole, tied it into the tap, tied it into the other end, and I had internet. It was just their system is not what it should be, of the part that tells them what is serviceable and what is not serviceable. One system says it can be serviceable residential, but that same address is not serviceable for business. Even though it's the same process, the same physical modem that will go on the end, it just one's under a business account and one is under a residential account. But they had to put it in as a residential first, which I've done that at a RV park. Then within the next 30 days, ordered a business on the same address and got it put in. Now this one, since I already done that before, I'm like, I don't have to wait that long. Because the advantage I had on this one is I already had the business modem in hand because it came from another site that I shut down. I didn't have to place an order to see if it actually will work. I took the modem after I shut that park down, took all the equipment out, brought the modem here to the studio, and I plugged it in and waited. The lights lit up. They came solid. I plugged it into my system, and I was able to surf the net at good pings, 20s and 30s and 40 every now and then. I said, now it's time to place an order for a business to get this modem out of this account and switch it over to this address with a new account. I thought they just switched it with the address and the account number will stay the same. That's not the way it worked. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to, but it did not in this case. Not only did the address change, the account number changed. And I can log in. When I logged into the other account where it came from, I logged into the same credentials, password and a username, and it showed the new address and a new account number. And I called them and be sure that that's where I'm going to need to continue to log in for the count that is actually here. And they said, yes. I said, okay, that makes it real easy. It's, it just, they need to get their system to make it more customer friendly, because you shouldn't have to jump through hoops and everything just to get this done. It would be different if it was a isolated incident, but it's not. I had to go through it twice. And since I went through it once, I almost knew exactly what I need to do to get it done even faster. And I did. Instead of 30 days, I did it in like 2 weeks after I got a hold of that one lady on the phone. She got the ball rolling downhill at high speed, and it just went together after that phone call. Now that I have high speed internet, I can actually have my live shows on Sunday. I can upload my other videos. I can have my radio, live radio, and easier to upload my podcast. Podcast is not really bad because that's nothing but an MP3 file. But these videos, I like to keep them 4K. Since my equipment records in 4K, might as well make it in 4K. But these uploads that's taken 3 or 4 hours to upload a 30-minute video because the system drops out every 1 to 5 minutes because obstruction of the trees of the satellite was very ignoring. It was very, I I don't know what word would describe it the most. It was just very aggravating when I have a very short video, 30 minutes, and I know it's going to take 4 hours to upload. I never had one to get partial of the way, halfway, almost all the way, and had to start over. Never had any of them do that. But I've had many of them that would take a long time. It would take up to like 3 or 4 hours to upload a 30-minute video. And I had one of this series of getting the internet here I think it was 50 minutes long. I don't even know how long it took. I started uploading that thing at 8 o'clock p.m. one night, and I went to bed at midnight, and it still hadn't uploaded. I locked up the computer and turned off the monitors, and I went to bed. I got up in the morning, it says it's processing, upload is complete. So I don't know when it was that it was completed. But it looks like them days are over. And now all I've got to do is change the AP here to a Omni antenna, and then let people know that there's high speed internet available. No more DSL of CenturyLink or Brightspeed, whichever it may be. Now, streaming like one TV, it works. And maybe a couple cell phones or a laptop. 10 megabits per second is pretty decent for that. But the upload is slim to none. It was 0.7 something. You are not going to upload with that. And sometimes streaming will be affected as well. Because when it sends the information, it's got to send information back and tell it to send more. So it can slow it up. But that is the steps that I had to take to get high-speed internet here, not only for the studio, but for the TVs in the home. And my son loves playing online games, so we needed something that had a good, solid connection of upload. Download, we didn't have any problems really of watching stuff. It's just that upload limited a lot of activities because we didn't have a solid, good upload. But that's the task that I had to go through to get it here. I'm glad I stuck it out. And I hope I never have to go through this ever again for any location that I get internet in. But since I've gone through it twice, I pretty much now know what direction to go in to make it a lot easier to get it done. I still have a RV part. The one that I actually have my RV in is having issues. I took the modem and I took the Edge Router X that was in the box next to the air conditioner. I relocated it inside of the home. It has not stopped or dropped out since I put that in there. I replaced some of the wires as well. Now, the nano switch that is on the building behind the home that powers the AP for the little RV park that they have beside the one I'm in with 12 RVs. It's dropping out, and I'm having issues inside of my RV. Seems like the radios on the tower is actually dropping out. This is one of the first RV parks that I actually installed the equipment in, so I may have to check the wires and be sure there's nothing wrong with them, just like I did this other RV park, Sneeze Ferry RV park. I've gotten it so far. It has not dropped out. It was, this is right now, it's 10/25/2023, and I plugged it in 10/21, and it hasn't dropped out. No equipment at all. Now I got one client, lot 44, that's in that corner behind that big RV they put in. Other than that, everybody else is chucking right along. And I haven't had any texts, I haven't had any emails, phone calls, anything except two more people in that park wanting internet. So the two that kept on calling me or texting me or whatever, saying it's down again, has not called me or he contacted me in any shape or form since the 21st. I like that. Now I have a few installs. I got about 6 overall, 6 installs to do in different parks. And one to relocate his CPE to get it away from that RV that's in the way now. Then I can start working on my own RV park that I'm in and figure out what's wrong with it. It may be the wire that came off of that 1,000-foot roll that I had issues with, and it's finally having issues here where I installed it. I have to go look at the wire and see if it is or not, if it's that wire. If it is, most likely I'm just going to take it out and replace it. Because the history, I found that roll, there's bad spots, and they show up whenever they want. But that's what I got going on, is basically is some installs, which some of them you already seen, because this series here, this is number 7, and this is way in November sometime, and them installs are getting done around the somewhere in the late of October. So you probably already seen them installs before you see this video, or before this video is actually public. If you hadn't seen the other videos, after this one, go look at them. But it's nice to have good internet again. But it shouldn't be so hectic and so aggravating to get to this point. It should be a smooth transition to have it done. But it is what it is. As long as it gets done at the end, the same results, I'm fine with it. I just learned a lot of how the process goes. Like they say, knowledge is power. So I have more knowledge of how they do their system, what they are looking for to get things installed. And it makes it easier for me to get it done even faster each time. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.